Hello, everyone, and thank you again for stopping by. I really enjoyed Dungeons and Dragons, but not every session goes the way we hope. Sometimes the games we just have fall apart, and those are the stories I like to share here. So today, I've got a few more D&D horror stories for you. So let's get into it. This one comes from Duckling of Chaos. I love that, by the way. That name is aces. DM blocks us after half a session. So, about 2 months ago, me, 14 female, and my friend, 17 non-binary, joined a D&D campaign. My friend has played D&D before for about 2 years. I've never played before, so I was really excited to play. We met the other 2 players and talked for about an hour before the session is supposed to start. When it is time to play, the DM needs to get some things together. Not a problem, I get it. He spends about 30 minutes trying to get everything together while the rest of us party chats. He comes back and asks if we can reschedule for tomorrow. Everyone says it's okay, and me and another party member stay in call till about 12 a.m. By 8 a.m. the next day, the entire server is gone, and the DM had blocked us all. I talked to my friend about it, and we don't have any idea why he blocked us. I do a little investigating into his D&D Beyond account. He has done this before. Does anyone have, a guess or anything? Wow. Kind of short, but simple and to the point. I don't think this DM was prepared at all. He might have been nervous. It might be his first time playing before, DMing. He might have gotten cold feet. He might have got offended in some way. I don't know. This DM just didn't seem ready for Dungeons and Dragons, or at least to DM Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. Ghosting is one of the things you really shouldn't do, because then it's open-ended. You always wonder what happened. And in this case, I guess we'll never know. This one comes from the Cobra Den. New DM trying to control the who, what, and why of my character. Joined a game to replace a player that left. DM was very happy with me joining, and then told me the player's race, class, alignment, his huge backstory, and how he connects to the story. I got a weird feeling and asked, "Wait, are you asking me to play his character?" He said no. Not if you don't want to. I replied that I indeed very much do not want to. I then created my own and gave it to the DM. He started giving me recommendations on better races and subclasses. My guard was up at this point, and I said, "No, I'm happy with what I have made." He asked about my backstory. I told him. He said, "We can't have another one of those backstories in the party. Next background. That might not fit in. Next, nah, how about this? Several backgrounds written up, each less thought out than the last due to frustration. During this, the DM would offer several background stories that I outright rejected because he is my character, not yours. Eventually, I made a very simple backstory with the goal that has nothing to do with the story. Kind of weird if you have nothing to do with the actual story that he's telling, because that's kind of the point of D&D. He creates a story, and then you guys tell him where it goes. Okay. Just that he needs to grow strong with a party to achieve his goal. DM didn't like this either, but I ignored his message until the session. Several sessions in, the DM messaged me and asked if we can flesh out why I'm with the party. The party is extremely accepting of my character. I put my foot down and said I am with them because I want to adventure. He said, well, great, if another party comes around, you could join them, and then you can roll up a new character. I said, no thanks, I'm good with my party, and they are good with me. I believe my DM has a toxic desire to control the who, what, and why of the party, and is having a lot of trouble coping with my character being free of his influence. Suspecting my character to be targeted and killed soon, and a list of recommendations for my character to come my way right before I say, nah, I'm good, take care. Update. I showed up to the session today and saw no cars parked on the street. Tried the door and it was locked. I called through an open window with no answer. I rang the doorbell and no one answered. I am only in contact with the DM, no group chat, so I have no idea what's going on, and sad this horror story might be coming to an end. So that is where I'm at. Either my DM saw my post here and changed the time of the session, or didn't see the post and changed the time without informing me. Anyways, we'll see how it plays out. Epic horror story so far. I would say epic. It seems like you and this DM didn't get along, like butted heads right from the start. I mean, I will state that you coming in and immediately being given a character is kind of red flaggy. I don't know, it feels like this DM and you just butt heads. It's a unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Like, you guys just did not fit together playing D&D. And for him ghosting you, I guess that's the theme of the video, because that's 2 in a row now that you were just essentially ghosted and not even told not to come, but to waste your time going and finding out that it's locked and no one was there. So they probably moved the session to a different day that you weren't available, which makes me think that he thinks you're a problem and you think he's a problem. Do you see where, it's just them butting heads? I do feel for the DM. You're coming into his game and you're not compromising with a background or like he probably wants you to have an emotional connection with the other characters, or at least something to mine in a background for future quests or NPCs. Like, let's say for instance, like in your background, your mother passed away, and it was because of this bandit lord who was a loan shark and gave your mom a loan, and she never paid it off. That's a good backstory, but again, you're not willing to compromise or anything like that. So again, I think it's just you guys butting heads together. So unfortunately, another ghosting story. This one comes from Commercial Tie 2196. DM punishes lateness. This one is still fresh because it happened like an hour ago. So my DM has always been a bit snappy, but today a player was late because their internet provider was having an outage and his data wasn't good enough to allow him to join, which he notified everyone of this, and it would have been the end of it too, but no. So we're playing the game, getting into it, and this guy comes in. For context, we're mid-boss. At first, there was no issue, but then this guy, he's pretty new to D&D, asks if he should roll initiative, to which the DM replies, no. When asked why, he states that he goes after the boss, dead last, because he said so, which gave off red flags, but when he was told that his class feature literally lets him roll initiative with advantage, which he was excited to use as he's never gotten to this level before. He said, quote, "Okay, you can, but you'll roll the next 3 rounds with disadvantage on all attack rolls." To which he replied asking why, naturally. The DM then responded by saying, "Are you the DM? Or am I? You want a DM?" In a very patronizing tone, but he didn't stop there. No. At a certain point, the player grew reasonably annoyed with all the patronizing and the insults as to DM his asking questions about certain rulings was annoying and interrupting his session. This is a tagged friendly or noob friendly campaign, by the way, just to clarify why he was asking so much, and all the players were fine with this interrupting. But when he eventually returned, he was told that actually you roll with disadvantage on everything for the rest of the session. So to where he promptly left. He now is trying to get in touch with DM to ask why he acted this way, and so are we as fellow players, but no one can get a hold of him. Damn. Yeah, this definitely is a ghosting video. I mean, being late is annoying, but if it's out of your control, then it like, stuff happens. Normal life stuff happens. Like, you gotta take someone to the hospital, or you gotta pick up that extra shift because no one's gonna pick it up, or just this, that, and another thing. And I just feel like this DM shouldn't have gotten all snippy about this and shouldn't punish people for being late. Also, what was this character doing post combat? Like, was he just sitting there, not in the initiative order? Because why is it such a big deal that he is now at the end of the initiative when he came in and wasn't part of the initiative, meaning he could roll for initiative? I don't know, it just seems like punishing for no reason. Also, giving disadvantage on attack rolls for 3 rounds, that's punishing, and then changing that to, well, you get disadvantage on everything for the rest of the session. And then of course, as a player hearing that, you should leave. You should cool down. You should walk away from that situation, because at that point your DM does not care about you, your character, the story. He's just mad, and you should walk away. Just to clear heads, that was a very good thing to do, is walk away and then think about it and then try and contact him, and hopefully he contact you and apologize, and you apologize for being, I guess you don't even have to apologize for being late. You told him ahead of time, and everyone was cool with it. Everyone except the DM, apparently. But I don't know. Ghosting. Yeah, apparently that's the name of the game for this episode. All right, I want to thank you all for stopping by today. I guess it's just a ghosting episode. I guess that makes sense. Spooky Halloween themed. I guess we can go with that. I want to thank you all for stopping by. Do the YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe. Do all those things that make the little DM that much bigger. And as always, I will see you in the next one.